YouTube for Fruit. Because I'm going to Fruit. Yes. We are live on YouTube. That's it. We did it. It's live. But yeah, we'll probably be working on both games today. Or maybe more so the other game. Honestly, I'm more interested in the Friend Slap game because the multiplayer is just such an interesting, like, puzzle. It's an interesting puzzle. I'm going to have to start doing C++ though, because, yeah, I really got to start diving into C++ properly. I got to force myself to just do a bunch of stuff in C++. Yes, yes. You need to find who's the murderer on the train? No, all players work together. It's not like a... There's no, like, PvP element to it. It's kind of like Peak, I guess. Yes. Yes. I have to force myself to not use C++ sometimes now? Wait, why is that? It's gonna end up like KSP2. What are we currently working on for this shit, man? What's the current problems? Ranged enemies do not cancel attacks from getting hit by any attacks. Let's fix that. How did we fix that for the other guys? Wait, hold on. I'm confused. I'm trying to think here, like... Because I'm addicted, so I'm finding excuses to implement new features in C++ instead of do the art or other stuff. Oh, I see, I see. The huge countdown in Notion. We don't talk about the countdown. It's 3 days right now, okay? It's not looking good. Not looking good. I gotta set a new timer for the Friend Slap game as well. After this timer, we're setting a timer on the Friend Slap game. And I think I'm gonna take the Friend Slap game more seriously, to be honest. Gotta keep the pressure up. Yeah, to an extent. To an extent. I'm not very good at, you know, following through with it, as you can tell, but I'm trying. See, right here we have a stagger system. Maybe hitting an enemy with an arrow doesn't stagger them? No, that's not true, because we can hit an enemy with a strong attack and it doesn't stop their montage. So what's going on, man? What's going on? What be happening? They still follow through with their attack. Can I override a function while still keeping the original functionality? Or am I gonna have to like call an event here? Like an on stagger. Let's see here. Mage. Override. Can we do the same thing as a custom event? Which is call. Yes, you can call the parent. Yes! Oh god, I heckin' love this. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna destroy the projectile. I guess. Ideally, yeah, we'll destroy the projectile. Destroy actor. Okay, next. Next, we're gonna want to call this and call fail. I also almost got an HLSL addiction recently. Hey, listen. I wouldn't call them addictions, all right? Addictions usually is like used in a negative manner. If you get addicted to making shit, I think that's fucking pog. At least it's not drugs. At least you're not doing cocaine. Or maybe you are doing cocaine, which is why you're getting addicted to HLSL and C++. There might be drugs associated. I could see that happening. Are you okay? Okay. Do we need to talk about this? Do we need to have a conversation? Okay, so now in theory, when we hit a mage and they stagger, we should stop their attack. See? Okay. Here's our first testing. He's flying now. And then he turned into huge, humongous confetti. I turned that motherfucker into confetti. Confetti. That's cool though, going back to the Cube World thing, that he's using his own engine again. I really don't know how people do that stuff. Like, I wouldn't be able to. I'm too stupid. I'm too stupid. What the hell is that inventory? Brother, no. What the hell? Why is it tilted? Oh, his last post was in June 7, 2024, and then he switched to using... This game's still alive? Yeah, the game that abandoned itself like 3 times. The game that was abandoned like 3 times. Yeah. We have Delta. Watch time, 28 days. That's fucking crazy. You spent 28 days in the stream. Do I like C++? Nah, I fucking hate it, to be honest. But it's a necessary evil. You kidding me? I fucking hate that shit. Shit's fucking ass. It has been like 5 years. That's true. That's true. Also, a very easily AFK-able stream, I guess. That's why I want to learn C++. Well, I want to learn C++ because I think my wanting to learn C++ has increased. Well, A, because I want to do more multiplayer now, and B, because of UE5. I'm going to be honest. Epic has not really given me that much confidence to believe that I can put all my faith in them to optimize the engine and stuff like that. So there's a large likelihood in the future that I would like to maybe fork the engine and then kind of just do my own shit with it or something. That's like probably where I'd want to go. And yeah, I just feel like I'm at the... I think currently it feels like I'm at the... it feels kind of like... You could tell me if I'm crazy. I'm sure you probably will. You're probably typing it right now and I haven't even said what I'm about to say. I feel like I'm at the grasp of the decisions that Epic wants to make from an optimization standpoint. And I feel like I have to kind of... Okay, I got to just do it myself. I'm crazy? All right. Fuck you, man. Hey, come on. Hey, come on. Sorry. Let me drink some water. Zelda, I have to throw you in the background or work on something else and listen like a podcast. Yeah, that's what I usually do with a lot of streams these days. When I watch a stream, I just have that shit in the side. Well, that's not true. There are moments where I'm like, which honestly is kind of feels like a waste of time for me. I've been wasting so much time randomly opening up Reddit, randomly opening up ArtStation, just fucking flipping through. It's so bad, man. It's like a modified version of me, like looking through Instagram and scrolling on Twitter. It's bad. And it just doesn't gain me anything. I don't gain anything. Scrolling through ArtStation. Ugh. Okay, where are we at? Think you can't optimize enough with just the CVARs and settings of Unreal? There's a lot of CVARs I don't know yet either. Don't get me wrong. I think I'd love to find like a resource of like CVARs that you should edit and modify. That'd be nice to know for the Friend Slop game. But I think as well, I wouldn't mind being able to kind of get nitty gritty deep into the engine. To modify shit myself. I just noticed they changed the fucking XYZ gizmo. That looks so much different. Am I going crazy? That looks different. You think that's bad? I spend hours watching TikToks and shorts. I used to spend hours just scrolling through Instagram. And then there was a point in time where I was like, I am wasting my fucking life. No, I'm on 5.6. I'm on 5.6. I don't think I'm switching to 5.7 for a while. For a while. It's going to be a while. You know, Golden. Going to be a while before I switch to 5.7, I think. Until I can see, like, the benefits of switching. Oh, Jovix. Range enemies do not cancel attacks or getting hit by any attack. Okay, we need to see if the Bali guys don't do that yet. Let's go ahead and copy over this code to the flying slugs that shoot projectiles at us. 5.7 has some good vegetation renders from what I've seen. I just don't really care about the vegetation shit, to be honest. Like, I do, but I also don't. Like, I could see that being very nice for the zombie game, but, like, I'm not working on that yet, so... Also, I don't really care for nanite. So... Call me a hater. I just don't really care for it. I don't... Unreal, man. You should be able to figure out, like, that's the same fucking actor. Like, you should... Come on, man. What about materials? Don't care about that either. I actually hate substrate. Call me a hater. receive our tooltips when you type something in the comment. I know, Hellcat. I just don't know what to look out for. Like, I just have to learn how to... I think the biggest skill I need to learn is how to efficiently profile all different, you know, different, like, areas of the engine, and then determining, like when I work on the Friend Swap game, I'm gonna have to learn how to profile networking or multiplayer. I'm gonna have to learn how to profile rendering graphics, right, properly. Like, I've done, like, I don't know why the GPU wait, what's the fucking button? It's not working. The GPU profile button is not working. Isn't it not Control Shift comma? Am I going crazy? Chat! Chat! Ah! Yeah, that shit looks different, so I don't think that's like... Yeah. I gotta learn how to do this stuff. What's my plan? Never to use Nanite and Lumen? Lumen is a very cool idea on paper, and I like the look it produces sometimes, but it's not there yet. And I don't know if it will be. I hope it will be, but it's not there yet. My main problem is that Epic is aiming for 60 FPS. Like, obviously you can increase that, whatever, but like, Lumen does not look fucking good at 120 FPS. It doesn't look good in interiors unless you like up all the fucking numbers, or you like, I don't know. It's just not worth it. I don't know. It's not fucking worth it. Currently, how I see it. I just use Unity. I'm thinking of switching to UE5, but I think I'm just going to reach the same graphics levels in Unity. Why would you want to switch? If Lumen isn't there yet, then make it there. I don't got the skills. I'll tell you up front, I don't got the skills. I do not have the skills to get it there. So I want to learn C++, but at the same time, I think even when I learn C++, I'm not going to be able to be a rendering guru. It's probably not going to be the thing I'm, you know, that's I'll be fucking 40. And even then, I'll probably not have the skills for that. I don't have the brain for it. I just want to make games, not full-on rendering, real-time, global illumination systems. I just don't. I'll figure out something else. Epic could fix the basic stuff first, like the countless UI errors, before rolling out new features. What button do I press to go full screen? F11. There's also F10, which is like a semi-full screen, which is kind of neat. If you're doing a lot of level design, that's probably like a nice button, because you still have your bars that you can work with. It's kind of neat. What you need is some skill points. Yeah. I don't know, man. My opinion is use whatever game engine works for you. Don't switch to something just because it's like the popular thing. Grass is greener on the other side, my friend. Grass is greener on the other side. Or, wait, what's the saying? The grass may seem like it's greener on the other side. The grass may be green on this side, but it's got fucking chemicals in it and you might die. If you inhale too much, you might die. It look nice, but it's gonna kill you. I'd say use whatever's enjoyable for you. I had a moment where I was like, you know, it'd be really cool if I learned how to use, like, C or Jai or, like, those kind of things. But then I thought about it, I'm like, you know what, actually, I don't care, to be honest. I think it just looks cool. Godot looks cool, but then I'm probably gonna have to do a lot of like engine work to get things in the state that I want it to be. Unity looks cool to an extent, but then I hear about the stories of Unity and I'm like, yeah. Anyways, let's do some work. Well, we did some work. We got that done. Hold on. I'll be right back. Give me a second. Unity company is kind of shady. Yeah, but yeah, I guess, I suppose. Let's go, Hellcat. I say use whatever you want to. It's just for me, I just don't. I don't make high poly assets or anything like that. Hell, if anything, I had a big not a wake up call. My my art skills are not very good, so it's gonna be interesting making these games and trying to, like, I can model kind of, but then when it comes to like putting those models together in an optimized lit up space, that's there's a challenge there for sure. I think the big thing I want to do here with this project is figure out the progression. That would probably be like the next piece of the puzzle. If we can get that in the next 3 days. I don't know if I will. The Giga Steam Machine will run circles around the actual Steam Machine. Yeah, but will it be as small as the Steam Machine? Small and compact? Carryable? Can you carry your Steam Machine to a nice restaurant date? Without straining yourself? I'm almost dead. Help. You have to take a TV or monitor. Not great during a date. No, I mean you have a date with the computer. Like the computer has a chair. So I'm, yeah. Not like on the date with the, whatever. It's not even a funny joke, man. Whatever. It sounds like a really fucking horrible SNL skit, which is basically all of SNL these days. So maybe it is a good SNL skit. Okay. So now ranged enemies can no longer shoot after getting staggered. Very good. Very good. What would be cool is a curve system. What I mean by that is in our system, we spawn enemies randomly. They're completely random. It just picks from a random list, and it does not take into account any chance percentages or anything like that. What I'd like to do is put an overtime system. And make it so there's a curve for enemy spawn chances. Now, how do you how do you have a list and it goes through the list and checks the chance of things spawning? Like, how do you do that? I've never actually done that before. Like, for like an item inventory system, you know how there's like rarities for items? How do you actually dictate what spawns? Well, first we'd have to associate it with a number, I would assume. You have to make a sum of all chances first. A sum of all chances. Okay. So I don't understand. What's the you can normalize the chance you want with that sum. So let me see if I can find like a pseudo coded how to code let's see. Coding a chance-based system in an array. So an item with probabilities. Oh, using weights. Sum all the weights in the weights array. Generate a random. I'm reading the AI fucking bullshit for this. Ugh. Sum all of the weights. What if the sum is not 100? What if the sum is like a random ass fucking 1,600 number or something? I don't understand how this works. Iterate through the weights array, subtract each weight from the random value. The first item with random value becomes less than or equal to 0 as the selected item. I'm kind of confused a little bit. Let's see. We're on the Roblox forum. Let's see what let's see what let's see what the Roblox forum did. Can I read Lua? I'm assuming this is Lua. It looks a bit like Python though. I don't understand how the weight system works. Weighted chance in game dev. Hold on, maybe this video will help me. It's a random video from 3 years ago that has 8,000 views. Maybe this will help me. Wait, hold on. Maybe this, hold on. Let me see. I don't know how to make a chance-based system using weight.
Bunders, rasps, cakes, and torsons. And bunders 50%. And let's say rasps 30% and torson the other 19%. And I think this is
Okay, but what if you don't have everything rounding up to 100?
how a lot of us often approach chance, and designers certainly, in terms of percentages which add up to 100. You might be tempted to cast a dice for each enemy. I could also just pick a random number between 1 and 100, and as long as their chances all added up to 100 as we did construct it, we can just see which section or segment it lands between. So
what if you, let's say the enemies have like weights, like one has, I don't want it to go up to like 100. Then it's like a chance out of 1,000 if it sums up to 1,000. Then I guess the problem is if you have if you have a shit ton of things, the chances of, well, I guess that it makes sense anyways. The chances of something else spawning that has usually a high chance of spawning ends up being a lot less because there's more things to choose from, which I guess would make sense anyways, right? Okay, wait, so, okay, what if it's like picking a ballot? So I'm thinking I'm stupid, but let's say Crawler and Gremlin. Crawler has 10 tickets, Gremlin has 15 tickets, and Grunt has 8 tickets. And if it's within that range of tickets, then we pick that. Is that a way of doing it, or is that like not right? Because I don't know.
So if
I'm trying to like grasp my head around how I would code it.
I pick the bunder. If I roll, let's say torson, anywhere between 1 and 20, they will be selected. And this is probably the simplest
This sounds like a ticket system.
way to do it. But the tricky part comes when I want to adjust these numbers. So say I want to take into account the fact that, as we know, cakes are a lot more common on blue moons. So during my game, if there's a blue moon, I want to bump their chance of appearing from 1% up to 40. How do I communicate or describe as a designer what happens to the other chances? All my numbers don't add up to 100 anymore, so I need to go ahead and change everyone's percentages, their chances, according to this new total. And this is really annoying to do repeatedly, not to mention just difficult to conceptualize. And it's probably going to come up a lot of times. I described something that was happening in the game, but it's far more likely that you're just going to change your mind about some of the numbers or add a whole different enemy. And it's very frustrating every time you would have to update these. So we are going to discard this concept of percentages, and I'm going to show you two other.
I think it's easier to have a list of elements, each with its own individual appearance chance from 0 to 100. Then you loop through the list with a simple for, generating a roll using fmath random. Check if the roll is lower than the element's chance. If it is, that element is selected. If not, the loop continues. I thought about that. It sounds a lot like RuneScape's way of going through and randomizing items. Is I'm pretty sure it literally starts from an item, checks its drop chance, and then does a roll. If it doesn't roll, go to the next one, 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 roll. Is that, I guess, how optimized? Is that an optimized way of going about it? Rather than just rolling once and then picking something from a list?
Other implementations for solving this problem. So the first is what I'm going to call a ballot, and there are lots of iterations of this. There's lots of ways of understanding, picturing, creating this. It could be pieces of paper in a hat, an actual political election with votes, or coloured pebbles in a bag, as you might remember from probably Let's Get an empty bag, 1 blue rock in. And Torson's get 19 green. So I put all the rocks in the bag and then give it a little shake. And all I have to do to determine what enemy to get is to take out one of these rocks. Now the great thing about this one is it doesn't actually need to add up to 100. We're just randomly picking out a rock in a bag. So it could add up to 20, it could add up to 20,000. Doesn't matter.
Which is what I was thinking. This is like the ballot. This is the ticket system. You get like something, a bunch of tickets, and then it has a higher chance of rolling based off of just being one of those tickets.
Change our minds about
So I guess that's one method.
Chance, we want to give them more or less. We just have to take out or add the number of rocks they have. So in our code, we can think of this, the simplest iteration, as entries in an array. So literally, we can just construct object ID or an enum or a string of their name.
You sum up all the weights, then you do a random value float and range from 0 to the sum. Then you loop again through the items, do if random value is less than or equal to weight. Random value is less than or equal weight, you choose this one and break the loop. Random value float in range from 0 to the sum. Then you loop again through the items, do if random value less than or equal weight. Choose this one and break the loop. So it's kind of like, you're kind of picturing it like this. So this is enemy 1 here. It almost sounds a little bit like the ballot system, but instead you're just kind of like randomizing it. This is enemy 2 here. This is enemy 3 here. Very small chance. Oh, very small chance. This is enemy 4 here. And then you're basically, what it sounds like is you're going through and just trying to select a spot from 0 to the sum. And then if it fits that spot, then it selects that. Is that how is that how you're basically doing it? You'll end up with one of the types being picked more frequently if you just loop through a collection like that. That's what I'm thinking, like. And then the problem is, I guess I don't care too much about that. I guess,
whatever.
Yeah. What a vixen. What are you guys watching? I'm just trying to figure out how to do a chance-based system based off of an array. 'Cause I'm stupid. Because I'm dumb. Because I'm dumb.
How many votes or rocks they get is however many entries they will have in the array. Then we want to random the first entry, any entry really run. It means if in the game has to be created, if you're going to be using numbers with large discrepancies like that, we might want to look at something else. So I'm going to call you think of the length of that random number between 0 and the length of that string. So,
oh, this seems like
I'm going to call
your
this
thing,
second
Hellcat.
implementation a segmented ballot. So instead of rocks or votes, I want you to think of this one like a piece of string. Every time we add a candidate, we connect a segment of string, where the length of that string represents their number of votes.
Yep, that sounds like what we
At the
were
end of
talking
that,
about.
we take our piece of string,
The
we
sum.
choose a random number between 0 and the length of that string, and then we just check whose segment it has fallen between. That will be our winner.
Yep, sounds like it.
So in our code, this piece of string can actually just be a number. We can just call this our total. So all we have to do...
I guess the problem is, once you start adding more enemies, you know what I mean? Like, I guess that it's gonna ultimately change which enemies are spawning and their chances and stuff like that.
do is we just keep a little tally of the candidate's votes, so the candidate's ID, and the length of the string or the number of votes that they've got in a little table or an array full of structs. And also, every time we add that new candidate, we will be adding to our running total of votes. It's probably not necessary, we could just calculate that on the spot, but let's just keep a running total. When it comes time to select an enemy type, a winner, all we have to do is select a random number between 0 and our running total. Then we iterate over our tallies entries in a for loop, and we are going to be keeping a cursor.
All right, let's just try it. Aside from general decrease, I think that's just inevitable, right? When you start adding chances of other things potentially spawning in, it's just gonna narrow. It's gonna lessen the other things that might have more majority. That's just what's gonna happen. Other things might take its spot. That's just how it would go down. I think that's just how it. Yeah. You could, in theory, go back to the other things if you want the other things to spawn more often and give them a few more tickets or whatever, a few more ballots or whatever terminology we want to use for that. Okay, this enemy list needs to be a struct then. Or it could be... Could also be a map. Ah! Ah! Integer or float? Integer or float? I guess if we're doing a ticket system, we could probably just use an integer. Yeah, integer. Compile. Of course. Video I linked does it with a map. Which one, Ben? Choose loot. So it's going through all the keys. Okay. I don't know about that. I get. I don't know. Wait, how do you go through the array? How do we go through the array? Like, I understand adding up all the sum. How do we determine where it landed? Oh. So, like, let's say we have index 0 is... wait, we could just mark it down. So this would be crawler, flying ball, gremlin, grunt, mage. So let's say crawler has a chance of... Let's say gremlin has a chance of 15. Grunt has a chance of, let's say, 12. Flying ball has a chance of 7. Crawler has a chance of 9. And then mage has a chance of 4. How do we determine at which point? Because this would technically not be 7. This would technically be going from index 10 to 16. 17, I guess. Yeah. Our problem right now isn't the seed, Vixen. It's more so determining, like, we can easily just randomize a number. It's just more so determining which enemy we want to choose based off of like a weighted chance. You loop through the item and sum the weight till it exceeds the random number. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to... Let me look at the video. What's the value sum? Where does he do that? Value sum? You're having the values for each loop. Interesting. The total plus running total. Return the sum. Calculate sum. Random floating range of minimum versus value sum. Okay. Random value, and then go through the loot table, check the keys. And then find... random value is less... The random value is less than the value that's in the loot table. Wait, hold on. I'm having a hard time grasping this right now. You're an optimization freak? No, I'm not like worried about that right now. I'm just worried about... I'm confused about the less than random value. So you get the sum of the value and then you check... Oh, and then he's actively minusing out from the random value. Oh, okay. I see what he's doing. Okay, that was the missing piece of the puzzle. I was like, the fuck? How would you would never get the number? Because like, let's say you had like 45. Okay, so then you would minus it through, and then that's how you would at some point determine which number it's actually falling into in the string, I guess, or the whatever. I see. I see. It makes sense. I understand now. It makes sense. It makes total sense. Should I turn that integer into float, or does it matter? Yeah, whatever. We'll just make a fucking float, I guess. Float. Okay, so, cut this. Cut the blue wire. Yep, Sonny. What doing? I'm gonna make it so certain enemies spawn different chances. That's what we're currently doing right now. What would be cool is that we actually dynamically modify these sum values over a duration of a playthrough. That would be cool. That would probably require a curve. Yeah. Yeah, whatever. Fuck the curve. For now. Alright, well. I guess we'll do, we'll calculate the sum. This will give us the sum. We need to loop through our entire enemy list. Get all of the values. There has to be a way to do this without requiring to do this by hand. Maybe not. Maybe not. That's fine, whatever. Current value plus array index. Let's set current value to that thing, and that gets the sum. Then we get the sum, and we give the current value to the sum, and that becomes the sum. So then we calculate the sum somewhere here, and then we set the sum. Okay, and that gives us a number. And then, select random enemy. So, first, random float. So we need to select a random number. This gives us our number. And then I guess from here is we want to go through the keys. Or do we want to go through the values? I guess it doesn't matter. Then we can find. Yeah, I guess we want to do this because we want to return this if it becomes true. And then this is going to be interesting. So this becomes a less than. Would it be a less than or equal? Less than or equal? What's the chances that it gets perfectly on a number? I guess it doesn't matter. Does it matter? I don't think it matters. Does it matter? It might. Might not. We'll find out. We'll find out. It might. We might fuck all this up. That's fine. Okay. Yeah. I had to wait. Yes. Right? Yes, I think. 45 minus 3 less than 45. Keep going. Yes. Okay. Yeah. If false, we'll take the random value. I think this is the simplest method. I think for bigger list, more than 1,000, there's faster algorithms. I would imagine, but I'm in Blueprint and I'm a fucking idiot and I'm not making an MMO, so we're fine. We're going through literally a list of like 5 different elements. So don't think we need like anything extensive. As long as it works, it works. You know what I mean? Like if it works, it works. That's fine. I'm actually gonna make the gremlins less chance than the grunts. I want the grunts to be above, I think. So then we set the random value. We minus this value, the current key that we're in. This, yeah, it makes sense in my head. And then on true, I guess we'll return. And then the output, actually, let's not do that. The output will be this. And then selected enemy. Okay. Cool. Never done that before. This might have to be a less than or equal to. But I believe this is correct. So let's say our enemy list is 9, 7, 12. Let's say you get, so 9 plus 7 plus 12 is 28. Let's say you get 25. Is 28. Let's see if we get 25. Right? So it's going to check the crawler. 25 minus 9. It's not going to get it. So this becomes 14. 16. I know math. 16. It checks the flying ball. Does not get it. So it does 16 minus 7, which equals 9. 12 is less than, so it chooses the gremlin. Wow, that's really cool. That's really cool, man. That's really cool. Notepad, not Paint with black background. This ain't no pirate software stream, brother. This is I'm gonna fucking flashbang you. Notepad. It's the morning. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Guys, I'm thinking of buying a nice chair. What do you guys think about Herman Miller for office chairs? Are they good? I was thinking of getting an Aeron because apparently Aeron's better for tall people. Get secondhand? I don't know anybody to get it secondhand from. So I was thinking of just buying a new one. The awkward thing that I'm thinking about right now is it's so weird that they ship it all in one piece. How does that work in an apartment? Do they just fucking drop that shit off on the ground floor, or would they ship that to my door? This guy has one get his. They're second hand. Hey, you selling it? Hey, freak, you selling that chair? Yeah, I was thinking of getting an Aeron. I look at the Embody, but then I was told that the Embody, it's very dependent on your body type, and Aeron, the Aeron C size C is best for people that are like 6'4". Mine literally arrived already built in a huge ass box. I'm so, I guess I'm stressing for the wrong reasons, but I'm stressing about like, how the fuck is that going to work? Am I going to have to lift that shit up to my apartment? I wonder if they're going to bring it to the front, my door, just because it's a really heavy object. Apparently it's like 18 kilos, which is, I think is like what, like 25 pounds or something? 30 pounds? That's a heavy fucker. They'd probably bring it. You're overestimating. I guess it depends on what kind of shipping company they would do it with. I got a Milani X chair. Milani? Isn't that a fucking like coffee company? Am I crazy in thinking that's a Milani X chair? Why does that brand sound familiar? Oh, interesting. I kind of want the mesh bottom because I feel like I get swamp ass really easily. This chair is kind of mesh bottom. It's pretty heavy. I remember carrying it once in the stairs and I almost fucking died. How did this person die? Well, they lifted a Herman Miller chair up the stairs and then it fell on them. And then they became the chair. All right, so Aaron C, size C, I guess. All right, let's check our, by the way, let's check our select random thing. Select random enemy. The cool thing, by the way, about this is now that I'm actually doing this through a function, I'm actually passing through the class reference, not just a random ass class. So I can actually feed, well, I think I was able to do that with the random array as well, but now I can actually feed any base variables in here if I wanted to. Okay, let's check though. So we should be getting more grunts and gremlins and other things. Grunt. Grunt. Grunt, grunt. Maybe too many grunts. Maybe we're getting too many. Okay, there's a mage. Yeah, I might pull the trigger on that then. I've been thinking about my health. For the past like 3 months, I don't know if it's like GERD, gastrointestinal whatever ERD, or something else. Maybe it's like the way I'm sleeping. Maybe my mattress is not like comfortable anymore. Like the past 3 months, my chest has been tight. Like uncomfortably tight. Like when I try to stretch, I can feel my chest right here. Like I can feel like, I don't know if it's my muscles. Yeah. So I've been thinking about, I think maybe mattress will be the other thing that I also maybe invest in next year, early next year. Chair, I can put that off on the business, so there's no worries there. But I think it's the way I'm sleeping. When I sleep on my side, I think I curl my shoulders inward. And that's what's causing that problem there. Start working out. Thank you, fella. Thank you. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. So I've been trying to sleep on my back. But, God, it's fucking awful. So I sometimes turn to my side and I'm like, okay, let me sleep for like an hour at least. But sleeping on my back is like impossibly hard, and I feel like my mouth gets dry and shit. Working on friend slop helps with that. Good luck with GERD. I don't know if I have it. I've had like some issues with like acid, like from time to time, like getting stomach burn, whatever you want to call it. If I like eat too late or if I eat certain foods together. Luckily, I don't have it too often, and when I do, I'll just have some, I'll just drink water with, like, sodium bicarbonate or whatever the fuck it's called, and that usually helps. But, yeah, I've had some nights where I'd sit on the couch just drinking that shit, sipping on it a little bit. It's like baking soda or something. Yeah, baking soda, I think. Or baking powder, or whatever it is. I haven't had it in a while though, but when it happens, it sucks because it happens in the middle of the night and I have to wake up and just sit on the couch. Because if I lay down, it makes everything so much worse. Getting old sucks, man. Why can't I just go back to like chugging like 4 Dr. Peppers and like not even worrying about a single thing? We need to go back to those days. You're like 19? What do you mean old? Guys, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm like 28. And I've already got like 7 gray hairs. Am I cooked? I've already got like a bunch of gray hairs. They're straight up white. I'm turning into Santa. Maybe that's my true calling. I'm turning into Santa. Okay, there's a lot of these guys, and what's their spawn chance again? Their spawn chance is 7. Out of what would seem like a sum of 16, 28, 33, and 37. So a sum out of 37, they're spawning that often. Oh no, 28. You so old. Smiley face. I'm getting mixed vibes on that one. Facial hair, actual hair, actual hair. I got like gray hairs here. I got a gray hair like here on the side somewhere. I think I got one over here. Yeah. Oh yeah, then you're dead. Ah! What? Huh? Just think it's too late for you now? I'm not even that stressed out as a person. I'm pretty chill these days. I think. Am I? Well, besides playing Deadlock, that does cause me some massive stress. Of course you are. You make games. Yeah, Krim, you might as well start writing your will. Oh, shit. Damn, I'm gonna die before I even have my first child. No! Did we talk about the Hytale news? Yeah, we did, briefly. Very briefly. Seems like they're back in. They're back in. They're in. 43, what do I do? Dig a hole and bury myself? No, but maybe start planning for where to put the hole. Just kidding. Maybe you could write yours and leave Krim your chair. Hey, I'm looking for that Aaron. I'm looking for a Herman Miller Aaron. I'm 36 and I have a lot of gray facial hair, but no gray hairs. That means you're not like working on enough successful games. You know what I mean? Like you gotta listen. A sign of being a successful game dev is when you start having body pains and gray hairs. I bestow upon my child my biggest collection, my unfinished Unreal Engine projects. My chest. No, listen, I'm not old, but I feel like I'm feeling the symptoms of becoming older. You know, it's definitely not like I was fucking 16. I wake up and you know I could fall and boom. It was like it's fine. I'm fine. Now it's like if I fall, I'm like potentially breaking something. You know, there's a chance. I do want to get back into exercise. I have a cousin-in-law who does Muay Thai, or he's been doing Muay Thai, and I did like a couple times. I've done a couple times like doing boxing and stuff, and it feels fun, man. Do it now. Someone mods. Oh my god. You happy now? You happy now? Who the hell is Crimson from Canada, and why are you giving him his chair? This chair. Well, he needs the chair. Also, I'm dying. Mom, Dad, I'm dying. I remember back when it used to be 10 push-ups. Since when, motherfucker? It was never 10. Was it? No, I don't know. I don't think so. Oh, you guys hear that? You guys hear that? Oh, hey. Back when Krim was young. Back when I used to stream for like 8 hours, working on games and forget the time. And now I stream for 3 hours and I'm like, I'm fucking hungry. And I can't work. It's because I talk too much. I used to not talk this much on stream, I feel like. Talking tires me out. Where the fuck I am. Alright. We now have spawn chances for the enemies. Very cool. Piece of shit game. I don't know how I feel about it. It's cool, but it's also like, what is this? Stop talking then? Yeah, but then what's the point of streaming if I stop talking? You know what I mean? I don't like that button. Turn that off. What's the point of streaming if I don't talk about random things? What the? Crimson unfiltered time? I'm always unfiltered. Slightly. Slightly lactose free. This is a lactose free stream. What the hell's going on? I don't know, you're milking the game quite a lot? What do you mean I'm milking the game? If I was milking the game, I'd be doing 17 collabs for Suit for Hire. Or, I'd be working on... I actually don't know. What am I milking? Milk D's. Lifts up balls. Indicating of balls from pants. I kept on a stream one day where the streamer put "don't talk to the streamer to avoid distraction." I think that's Aries. The he works on Beautiful Light. You know what else is for hire? Yeah, your chair. All right, put it up, get it in a box right now. Put that chair in the box. 5 push-ups coming soon. Don't you dare. It's kind of weird to do. Hey, to each their own, right? But for me, the whole purpose of streaming is to just... I'm here to have a good time, man. I'm here to have a good time. I'm here to have a good time. And then sometimes I'm a bit of an asshole. You know, that's just how it goes. French song, we don't do that. Pas ici. No omelette du fromage ici. All right, Ben. Thank you, asshole. I feel like I've done more push-ups than I have work. You know? I feel like I've done more push-ups than I have any work. Here comes the French Grim and I'm triggered. Okay. Getting the game development blood pumping. Do you think people that join in the stream that has never streamed the stream before randomly joins in, sees me doing push-ups and they're like, what the fuck is this guy doing? And then leaves the stream immediately? Can you add 45-second planks to the readme? No, we're not adding planking to the regiment. Okay, Sonny? You take that shitty workout and you get the fuck out. Planking sucks. It's a horrible workout. It's literally the worst. The worst. I'd redeem it for 200K. I'm gonna puke. I'm gonna puke. What about a 30-minute jog around the room for 250K points? Who's with me on that? Mods? No, but for real, mods? Stupid ideas will be shot. I know I'm the one... only I can come up with stupid ideas. I'm the game dev here. Is there a mods emoji? I actually don't know. Mods? In all caps? There's no mods here? They all left. They hate me. They all left me. It's like a pirate software stream going from 1.3 million followers down to 900,000. Wow. Holy shit. It's like a ski slope. You could just see just going, yeah. Whereas for me, the mods went from 1 mod, 0 mod. No moderators are here. I keep telling you I'll put in my mod application. Poor pirate software. Yeah, poor pirate software as he cries with money in all over his hands. Oh, fuck. Ah. What happens when the timer reaches 0? I don't know. I'd probably explode. I'd probably explode. We don't know. We don't know. Let's not find out. More gray hairs. I refuse to stress myself out working on games again. I refuse. Just make super hire clones? I'll let someone else do that. When I'm stressed, I say no and I stop stressing. Holy shit, that's some incredible intel. I'm stressed out. No. Oh, hey, actually. Not bad. Hey. You were so happy back when you were working on Ronin? Yeah, because I didn't have rent. There was no such thing as rent or bills to pay. I was at my parents' home. I literally could not work. I was not allowed to. Also, I was younger. More good looking. Less facial hair, you know? I was without chest pain and back pain, and I could drink Dr. Peppers like nothing ever happened. What do you mean you weren't allowed to work? When you are on a dependency visa, like someone else has a work visa, you cannot earn any income. So when I was in the US for like 4 years, I literally was not able to make any income legally. I didn't make any income. I was at home 24/7. It's like I got castrated for 4 years. That's why you evaded taxes. I did not evade taxes. In fact, I was so strict on the whole rule of not earning income. You guys know how I had a bunch of marketplace assets. I had to contact Epic Games and tell them, you need to stop selling these assets and put them not for sale. So literally I was doing pretty well on the marketplace assets. Then I moved to the US and I had to say, well, I guess I just got to stop everything. All the graphic design, fucking freelance work, got a bunch of emails asking for new work. I was like, sorry, I can't right now. Yeah, for 4 years. Could you not just make those assets under your parents? Specific work visas in the US do not allow you to earn income aside from work. Now, obviously, you could do things under the table and whatnot, but when it comes to digital products and having everything digitally, it's kind of like a harder thing to do. You know what I mean? It's not like I paint houses and shit and then get money under the table. You know, yeah. Freedom. Yeah, land of the free. Yeah, for sure, guys. Yeah, totally. Land of the free. If you were born there and got a green card / residency / citizenship right off the bat. Yes, maybe. Yes, possibly. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. America. I'm sure the same thing applies in a lot of countries, to be fair. If you're on a visitor visa, you probably can't earn income under that visitor visa. Just ask them and include a note saying, happy birthday, so you don't kind of pay taxes. No, it's fine. That is a chapter that is behind. Okay. I sub solely for the potential that we might one day get Ronin back into the dev rotation. The dev rotation. Yeah, guys, I'm actually quitting the Friend Slop game, and we're now going to work on Ronin. Guys, we're actually going to work on Crimson's Fantasy again. It's like, hey guys, the new battle pass includes Ronin 20. It's like every season is a different game. In Japan, there's a working holiday visa, and you can work for up to a year before switching or dipping. Interesting. Interesting. I'm so pumped for Random Fridays. We're going to be here forever, man. This business that I've started is going to fucking collapse. It's just going to collapse before it even started. It's a goner. When I was studying abroad in Japan, I could fill out some paperwork and work. That's awesome. I wish I could do that in the US. Getting a work visa in the US is a fucking pain in the dick. If you don't have like school or a sponsor for work or whatever, yeah, good fucking luck. Come to the EU, just saying. EU. 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 For 28 hours per week max, though, that's still not too bad. That's still not, that's better than zero. Way better than zero. That's for sure. My partner and I were thinking of maybe visiting Japan. Just to, you know, experience literally being on the opposite side of the world, almost. Just to experience it, right? Complete cultural shift and everything. Ronin inspiration trip. Dude, when we work on Ronin again, it's probably not going to be called Ronin, because honestly, I'm probably going to like take a lot more Star Wars inspiration instead. Grim thinks EU is a third world Eastern country. It's true. It's a whole ass country. And it's third world. That's true. Been there 2 times already and moving there next year. God damn, they just got you. It's like, hey, I'm coming back. Next time, this time I'm living there. I don't know if my partner and I would do well in Japan, to be honest. But we'll see. I don't know. We haven't visited yet, so. All right, let's stop staring at this list and maybe we move to the other game, even though we got 3 days left on this list. Yeah, Krim, you'll be getting your chair. Yes! My second-hand Aeron by Freak. Yes! Yes. Yes! Does it come with additional random biohazard components, such as butt slop? Sloppy butt. Never mind. I'm not going to continue. I'm sorry. It's disgusting. I'm sorry. This stream is gross. I played Void Train, the Friend Sloppish game. It's so slow and eventually got kind of boring. I don't know if I would consider Void Train a Friend Slop game, to be honest. Insert the bunny holding a pocket watch right now. Insert my game into the stream, which is what we're going to be working on. The other game. We're working on game 2 now. Or I guess game 3? Is this game 3 or game 2? Because we already have game 1. But what if this releases before game 2? So then this becomes game 2. So then what is game 2? Is game 2 just game 3? Or is this game 2B? Did I name it Crimson Train? I already have the Steam page ID and everything. Not that... I think someone could still technically, in theory, steal the name or whatnot. The game is called Train Rot. I don't know. Listen, I love that name. I love that name. It's the favorite part of the entire thing. Did I start the Idle God Hand yet? No. That's no. No. I'm stealing the name. Mods. Police. Police. Stop. You're breaking the law. I won't be able to watch your streams in Japan. You can watch the VODs, but yeah, I didn't. What time is it? Time in Japan. It's 5 a.m., brother. Just wake up early, and then you'll be right here. Already got the trademark pending, TBH? Streamer really can't stop talking about Japan, huh? What? What? People are bringing it up. What do you want from me? You'll never be Japanese. I knew that fucking copy pasta was coming. I had a feeling. Anyways, last time I did a test on this. Session hosting works, which is great. VoIP works, I think. I was fucking around with physics. Physics and multiplayer. I don't know how Repo does it, but it's definitely not, like, we're doing it a different way. I'm gonna have to find a way to do it like client authoritative. Because yeah, whose tutorial did I watch to get this running? I don't know. I didn't watch any tutorials. What do you want from me? Gorka Game Slop. Now we need to work on mods. Now I need to work on Repo just uses a better game engine. True. Now we just need to work on item pickups. Picking up items. Yes. We need to get pickup item system working and then dropping items. Where's the list? Looting items such as destroying them, replicated, late joiners, and then dropping items. Okay, so how I was picturing replicating items that get picked up is I would have a boolean on them called B is looted. And then if it's looted, we can just destroy it. So then if a non-relevant player character sees the item, then it's destroyed if it was picked up. Is that the way to do it? I don't fucking know, but that's the way we're gonna do it. That's the way I'm doing it. That's the way I like it. I forget the rest of the song. We're gonna make that a rep notify. Okay. And then what we'll do is in interact, we will quite literally just server item looted, run on server. Okay, can someone help me out here? Okay. How do you set a replicated variable without running it through an RPC? Can you do that? How the hell do you do that? I guess the item pickup would have to run on the server without running on the server. I didn't understand any of that question. Yes, no, maybe. Thank you, chat. Thank you. All right. If is looted is true, we're gonna go ahead and just destroy it. For now, we're just gonna destroy the actor. Yasar. We're just gonna destroy the actor for now. Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot to run on the forgot to hook this up. Oh, I hate this. Oh, I hate this. Oh, this sucks. Okay, so let's try with the client first. When we pick this up, it should just delete. Wow, that took a while for it to delete itself. Here's what we're gonna do. On local, so on authority, yeah, and then on remote, we'll just destroy the actor. No, but on remote, we want to call the run on server. Is this correct? I don't know. We'll find out. A lot of multiplayer for me is going to be like, is this good? Nah, probably not. But let's do it anyways. Did that still take a second to delete itself? What? What? What's wrong with my interaction system? Remote interact and then server interact call. And then that interacts with the thing. So, interestingly enough, I don't need to do this because it's already running on server. Wait, hold on, let me just try putting destroy actor here. Does switch have authority cause a bit of lag? What? What? Let me try just hooking into destroy actor. What? Why is it is destroy actor a server only process? And so okay, here I have an idea. I got an idea. Switch has authority. On remote, set hidden in-game. Yes! And then we just hide the fucking thing rather than destroying it, because it seems that destroying it is a server-only process. Yeah! 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 Jank? It's not jank. It's problem-solving, motherfucker. Wait, can you set actor collision on the entire thing? Yes. 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 I'm hiding it first. So destroying is a server, because this is so the item is spawned dynamically, which is kind of emulating what we would actually do in the game. It's spawned dynamically by a thing that spawns it. Yeah, it spawns it for us, right? When you do that, when we spawn it from the server, that means it's owned by the server, or I think the authority is the server. And then what ends up happening is when you destroy an actor in multiplayer, if it's owned by the server, it's the server that's going to destroy it on all actors, especially if it's replicated, which it is. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Why not destroy after hiding? I'm making sure that this server call gets called because this is the most important part, which is setting it to looted. And then if it is looted, it's going to end up destroying it on client side. So here's the idea. I'll reduce the call distance of the item pickup. Let's do 1000 by 1000. So then that way I can show you guys what it's going to look like on other clients. What's train rot, by the way? Without giving too much away, you and your friends are operating a train and you have to keep it going by like fueling it with like random shit you find like coal and other things while surviving random potential things on the train, like environmental hazards. So you can see that the relevancy, once I get out of relevancy, it disappears. So on client 1, I'll go ahead and pick up the item. This is now destroyed. And then in theory, client 2, when we enter, it should be gone. Yes! Which actually, now that I think about it, I actually don't know if we need to rep notify this thing. Can you... Is it possible to... Snowpiercer, but in multiplayer? Kind of, I guess. I don't know. Video game on a train? Alien Isolation Repo Peak Lethal Company on a train. Snowpiercer. Slash... I don't know. Can you add what I'm wondering is, can you hook up a client that spawns in later? Can I like hook up a client late? That'd be really nice to test late joiners. Am I using controllers, or do I just take over by clicking on one of them? I Alt Tab and I click on the client that I care about. That's a UE7 feature? Great. Great. Fantastic. Now, when you pick up an item, there is a delay between someone seeing someone else pick up an item. Unfortunately, that is just how it's going to be. I don't think there's any way of fixing that. Yeah. I don't think there's any way of fixing that. So when we interact, we want to check that this is not looted. So I guess having this boolean is a good idea. So then that way we can make sure that no duplication happens. We do not want any duplication. So we want to check that it is not looted first. So the server will probably be like, hey, is this looted? And then tell us if it's looted or not. I think that's going to be the idea. So the server will probably give the item to the player. Okay, so at least item looting is going to be instantaneous on the player side. And then, of course, we'll have some animations and some other shit and whatever. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. How did Source Engine do grabbing items? You held E on it, right? Rather than tapping E? Or am I thinking of a different game? Can they punch each other? I don't know if we're going to have any combat. I don't know if we'll do any combat stuff. Maybe. I would rather stay away from any combat if we can. You know what I mean? We'll have enemies that attack you, but I don't know if I want the ability to attack back. But we'll see. Maybe you find items that can damage enemies or stun them or something like that, right? Can I hit my friend over the head with a shovel? That would be hilarious because of the sound we could put in there, like dong, dong. I want to know. We'll see. I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. I know there's a game where you can literally look down and headbutt your friends and they fall over. So we could do goofy stuff like that. I think that's the beauty of friend slop, right? So we'll see. We'll see what we can do. I do want a little bit of a sandboxy element, even though you know what? Add a game to the list of inspirations / similarities. Among Us. Because there's going to be a mini game element to it. When you have to repair something, there might be a mini game element to it. So that Among Us. Yep. Slap Among Us in there. Slap Among Us in there. Yep. Yeah, Among Us. I can see physics-based coal shoving. I really want to do a bunch of physics stuff. I think that'd be really fun. For example, let's say Like, let's say, because it's a train, you'll have like passengers, and you can find items in like random things like luggage. We could have an element where it's like some luggages are locked, and the only way to open it is to like fucking bang it around the train and shit. You know what I mean? Bang it around, break it open, right? So then some of the items fall out of it. That would be a really fun mechanic. But I could also see like sometimes the train could shake, and then things fall from the luggage thing, and then they could hit you in the head, and you go, woo, you know what I mean? Ooh, ooh, you know, and you start sleeping and shit. You get knocked out. I think some fun stuff like that could be really, really fun. I just don't know how to do physics. I don't know how to do physics. B, I don't know how to do physics in multiplayer. Like, how do you do it efficiently where it doesn't lag the shit out of the game? And it would have to be client authoritative. So I don't know how would you get a luggage falling out of a thing and keeping it somewhat consistent from player to player, even with client authority. I don't know. I don't know. Do we just do the whole concept of the luggage falling out of like a compartment, but we like code it by hand instead of it being physics based? Instead, we actually do like a timeline, because it's like it has a gameplay element to it. It almost becomes an enemy. It's a future crim problem. True. That's true. Good point. Fair point. Hey, true. I was also off stream. I was fucking around with like being able to using physics handles or whatever to grab an item and like actually move it around in front of you. God, it's awful. On the client side, you see a shit ton of stuttering. The item starts stuttering and whatnot. It is not fun. Replicating physics, not fun. So I think what I would do is maybe I would like attach the item in front of you. Only problem is like, what if it starts like clipping through a wall and stuff? That I don't know what I would do there, to be honest. So yeah. I don't know. Have I tried the physics control component that's new with UE5? I think I saw that. Physics control component. Is that the network physics settings? I don't know what that is. I saw that and I was like, what the hell is this? And it has like a bunch of settings. And I have no idea what any of this does. I tried out some of these different simulation thingies, but yeah, I'm physics. I'm something I would like to learn in this project for sure. What's this new game all about? Explain in 3 to 4 long paragraphs. It's a friend slop game on a train. That's about it. That's it. There's a plugin you need to enable, I think. Why did I search up plugin? I'm going crazy. Physics. Physics control. Additional support for controlling static and skeletal meshes through physical controls. You could yoink how Repo does it. Yeah, but Repo is in a custom engine, so I don't know how. They probably got their own shit that's not dealing with the chaos of chaos. You know what I mean? Chaos. See, that's another thing. I hear so many complaints about chaos. You know what I mean? Like, I hear so many complaints about chaos, and it's like, how, as a developer, how do I fix that? Okay, I gotta fork the engine, or use one of those versions that people have already forked and re-implement PhysX. Oh, it's so fucking funny, man. New character physics? Oh yeah, I think I've seen this. I don't know if this would... Like, it might help to make goofy looking the characters. This could help for, like, the characters. I remember watching this, like, we could do a bunch of this stuff. But I wonder if we could just use physical animation then at that point. The physical animation component. You know what I mean? Make your own engine? I'm too stupid. I'm a fraud. Can also be used like a physics handle, like holding objects. I guess my problem is, how do we make that work in multiplayer? I just don't think relying on physics is the way to go. I think when you grab an item, it should be like you are actually just grabbing the item, and we add physics on top as a visual layer. But then the problem is, like, when we grab an item, how do we, I don't know. We'll figure that out, if that even ends up in the scope. For all we know, we could just remove the concept of, like, grabbing items and moving around and shit. Networked physics overview. I might have read through this. Let's see. I have, yeah. I've tried these out. They don't work very well, but it's possible that I just need to work with it more and just fuck around with it some more. Configure it and whatnot. But I think ultimately, I think we're just going to go with like client authoritative physics somehow. As long as we can somehow keep items in the general same location, I think that's the biggest thing. Yeah. 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 There's Legos in my documentation. Isn't that crazy? Can you push your friends off the train? Ideally, it'd be cool to be able to push each other. Actually, let me see. Can I push my friend? Can I push the client? Come on. Come on. Okay, let's see. Let's actually see if we can maybe... Can we maybe change that? Can we make it so we can be pushed? Physics interaction, push force. How can we allow ourselves to be pushed around? I actually don't know if that can be easily done. I actually don't know if that can be easily done. Find the pushover check. Let's see. If we search up push. I actually don't know if we can push characters. Character mass? Is the mass... What if we set our mass to 5? Let's see if we can be pushed around. Wow. Okay, that's an interesting thing. I would like the players to be able to be pushed. Am I actually going to have to manually push characters? There's no fucking way. Wait, I'm gonna have to push manually. I'm gonna have to like constantly push. Uh, what's so funny is I'm pretty sure this is like a relatively easy thing to do, I guess, in Unity, but because we are dealing with poopy character movement component, I don't even know where to get started on this. And pushing, I think, is derived from if something has physics. That being said, it's not like our character has physics necessarily enabled. What happens if I turn on simulate physics on the capsule? I'm pretty sure we just fall over. I can't move, which would make sense. I don't think there's a way for us to push our friends, which really sucks. God, that sucks. I would love to be able to push our friends, but we might have to do that. Oh no, there's no way we'd have to do that on tick. That would be expensive. Interesting. It's almost like I would actually I would probably have to override the CMC for this. I think I'd actually have to override the CMC somehow to push friends around without making this awful. If I know any physics-based multiplayer games made in Unreal. Everyone I know is making or thinking of making co-op games. It's so over. I've always wanted to make multiplayer co-op games, so. All games I can think of are Unity. So there's a lot of FromSoft games are Unity. Adding force to the player character and overlap. Yes, we could do that, but we'd have to add force from on the server. Unless I can somehow add force and they just, I guess, everybody runs that code on each other. That sounds chaotic though. I don't know if that would be on overlap though. Let me see if on, I don't think on hit would be the thing either, because that's usually physics. But let's see. That's crazy though, that there's nothing to just push someone. Well, let's try not add force, but maybe what? I'm pretty sure the castle component is a primitive component. Collision cylinder, pretty sure is primitive. Force would be normal impulse, I guess, times velocity. Let's see if that would work. Okay, add force requires simulate physics. So I'm thinking we'd have to launch character, which sounds fucking chaotic. You know, this is when making a game like this definitely makes me wish I knew Unity rather than Unreal. Would it be nice if Mover 2.0 were production ready? Would Mover even solve this problem at all? I don't know. I don't think so. Am I really gonna have to launch character? There's no fucking way I'm gonna have to launch character. Ugh, whatever. Okay, launch character. This is a pretty cheap cast, so I'm not too worried. Okay, let's see if we can maybe... Let's see if this actually even works. Let's just set a really... Oh yeah, we also need to check if the velocity is more than a certain number, because I think what's going on is the hit is occurring on one character and then trying to launch the other direction. But I think we want to check the velocity like the prior tick. This is not going to work, man. We're going to have to run this on the server. What if instead of launching the other character, we launch ourselves if we get hit by something with more velocity? Still learning networking, myself included. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm new here too. Isn't the character an immovable object by default? It is. I'm wondering if we can maybe change that. Okay, let's try this real quick. Yeah, yeah. Let's first see if that print string is even calling. We want to check, shit. We actually want to check the last updated velocity. We actually don't, we don't want the current velocity because it's going to be stopped for the most part. Hold on, I'm trying to clean this up a little bit. We'll figure out if this is even a viable way of doing this. So I'm thinking instead of us pushing a character, we will get pushed instead. We will be the one getting pushed. And I think that should work. Let's try an XY override. I don't want to override, but we'll just try just so we can test this out because I need to test this shit out. I think the normal impulse is just not it. So instead of normal impulse, we're going to read their last updated velocity. We're going to normalize this, and then we'll multiply it. And then that should be the direction that we're actually getting launched in. Let's turn off XY override. I'm bullying. This is bullying. So what's really funny about this is it's not necessarily replicated. It's technically not, well, it is, but it's also not. It's just launching our character, which I guess doesn't require to be run on the server, which is interesting. It's possible because I have that one thing ticked, which is that one thing that I forgot the name. Yeah, server accept client authoritative position, which means that this might be able to run on the client. So now, what if instead of normalizing, what if we just go in here and just read the actual last velocity that they had? And let's see if that works fine. It's a bit, I don't know if you guys noticed that. It's a bit, it's a bit buggy, as you can see. Oh, I think it's because we're hitting ourselves. Let's see. So we're getting there, we're getting their velocity. I don't think we want any Z. Let's completely cut that out of the equation. Let's cut Z out of the equation. Let's also lower the amount of hit because we want to simulate mass, I guess. We're going to have to make it though, so, because I'm noticing, do you see how it says client 1 and client 2 launching? What's happening is that, I swear there's a way of checking if we're being launched. It's because we're being launched with them. Which is, as you can imagine, pretty buggy. This is... What? Why is this an interface? Huh? Why is it nav movement component? Huh? Movement mode. When you get launched, you are set to falling. So we want to check that you are both... Or actually, we could just check if you're equal to walking. So we want to check that A, you are going faster than 150. We can maybe even increase this to 250. Possibly. I don't know, we'll see. And also that you're walking. Let's see if that's fine. I do notice... Why is it that when we get launched, it almost looks like our player character is... Maybe it's the fact that he's attached to the head. Oh, it's because when you get launched, you get set to falling. I think what's going on is he's playing the falling animation, and it makes him look like he's falling. And of course, because our fucking camera is attached to our head currently, it's probably causing him to locally play the falling animation. I guess we can fix that really quickly. In the animation blueprint. I've not taken a look at this animation blueprint. Maybe take a look at this. Free net predicted organic soft collisions. Uh-huh. Why is it lagging so much every time? Huh? Hmm. Interesting. Oh, he's doing the He's doing the pushing through gameplay ability system. Balls. Oh, you know what? Someone just reminded me about something. The GMC plugin. What was that called again? Is it just GMC general? Is it general movement component? GMC. I don't remember if I bought this. Does this work in multiplayer? A replication toolkit. If you're making a multiplayer game, you almost certainly need this plugin if you want professionally replicated movement in your game. Implementing lag-free server authoritative multiplayer movement is notoriously... Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's only $800. No, for me it's $1,400 actually. I'd have to get the professional license. Ah! Ah! Is a fully custom solution built from scratch and not related to Unreal's character/character movement component classes in any way. Interesting, but I assume it probably has similar function calls. You just have to convert everything to the thing. GMC ability system? Oh shit, yeah, because it's not using the GM. Oh, because yeah. I don't know if I'm going to use gas in this project though, so I don't know if I necessarily need that, but it's cool to see. Let me see the trailer real quick again. I want to see if it has a push system, but I also want to see what other things it has. I don't really care about the changing capsule size, although I'm sure that I could find some benefits with that. I am a little scared about using a plugin for something so integral, but oh my god. What I want to see is if there's any pushing stuff, because I do think like it's not like super important, but I feel like being able to push your friends is kind of... Now, we could still continue using this system. I do think it would be a good idea to learn the GMC though. Because I've been looking at that plugin for a while now, and I just got reminded. I just got reminded of it right now. Advanced topics. No, don't care about that. You know, Janko. Let's see, maybe the networking introduction. Blah, 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 blah. Jesus, what the hell? I'm in my friend slop era. Don't get it twisted. I wanted to make this before all of the fucking people are like, you should make a friend slop game, okay? Don't get it twisted. I want to see if this has based movement. Based. I might say fuck it and pick this up for this. You know what I mean? I might pick this up. I find the character movement component so limiting. That being said, I don't know. I feel like I'm going from potentially one problem to another problem, but I've heard relatively good things from GMC, and I'm pretty sure I've seen some fellow creators using this as well. Crimson's wallet is crying. You guys don't understand. 1,400. Okay, yeah, it's a lot of money, but think of it this way. Then there's a higher incentive of me releasing this, making my money back, and then I can use this plugin in other projects. And it's a tax write-off, so I don't know what to tell you. It's just wins across the board. The entire thing is fucking wins. It's a bunch of wins. Yeah, and I convert it into man hours, and then it doesn't become that expensive. Millionaire confirmed. I'm not a millionaire! Mods? 1 week after buying it, I will no longer be updating this. I'm curious if there's a thing in here that allows for pushing like other players. We are going to have to recreate our character but like we haven't done that much with our character, and either way, I need to derive this from a C++ class anyways, so honestly, not like a crazy amount of work we'd have to do. 3 to 6 months has now turned into 4 to 7. Well, you don't know that. It could very well solve a bunch of problems as well. The GMC is primarily focused on kinematic movement, but some forms of physics replication are supported. You can replicate the root component, transform physics, simulating several pawns to clients via snapshot interpolation. Simulated physics will not be predicted. Non-predicted client authoritative replication we use for such pawns. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, well. With that money, you could buy an RTX 5080 and become totally out of touch about optimization. Yeah, that seems like a great idea. Oh shit. What the fuck is that? GMC filter overlap. Other actor, move, server move, client replay. Oh, what the hell? Did I spend 9 gazillion on it? I have not spent 9 gazillion on it. I think this would probably be an off-stream endeavor. I am curious about... I don't know if it'll have like any pushing stuff. What would that be called? Is there a term for that, being able to push other player characters? We still have the issue where we are, yeah, bullying. What? What do you mean bullying? It's not bullying. I'm not bullying anyone. Negative review on the asset, can't even push other players. Don't get me wrong, it's not a deal breaker, but I feel like the element of being able to like mess around with your friends, I feel like is so integral to that kind of like friend slop element, you know what I mean? We'll see with the GMC. I'm not too worried about it right now. Make it so you can push them with an action, maybe, possibly. I just realized, look at the other cameras, the other clients. This guy, this guy's looking at a guy right here, or a gal, but there's no one there. They're still right there. Oh, they just updated. Okay, interesting. Interesting. We are actually experiencing some... Yeah, maybe a launch character does have to be run on the server. Because... it's not... Man, I don't know why the player character can't be pushed. I guess I know why, but it's, you know. You know, I guess technically since we're not simulating physics, it's just, not gonna matter, I guess. Well, the player character can easily be pushed in Unity. Someone get that guy some duct tape. Get that guy some duct tape. Jesus, they just be saying anything these days. Mods? What do I pay these motherfuckers? In RV there yet? You could just pick other players up and then just throw them. Yeah, see? Stuff like that. That's fun. Sign me up and I'll ban myself. Oh, I'm kidding. I understand why so many friend swap games are just made in Unity. It makes so much fucking sense. It just makes so much sense. Are we there yet? Is made in UE? What? What? We're so back, chat. We're so back. That's why the physics are sometimes clunky. Chat, we are not back. We're not back. We're not back. We're not back. Let me try something. I'm pretty sure launch character does have to be run on the server. I love replication. Trying to learn all this shit. So target, 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 target. Wait, no, maybe we don't need target. Maybe we just target is... No, we do need target. Target becomes the target, which is character, and then launch velocity is the launch velocity. I don't know if it needs to be run on the server. Let's see. Surely calling 5 million RPCs isn't going to cause any problems, right, guys? Right, guys? Yeah, totally. Oh yeah, the way I'm doing the launch is not going to work. I'm launching myself. Wait, no, am I doing this correctly? Wait, hold on. Oh, wait, no, this has to be ourselves. I think. What if clunky pushing is a feature? I don't know, man. I don't think anybody likes buggy physics and shit, you know what I mean? I don't think anybody likes buggy physics. Like, buggy sometimes. See, now it's happening, but there's no sort of prediction, so it's happening super delayed. All right, let's look into this another day. It's not exactly high priority. We'll keep it, but we'll just unplug it for now. Just blame Windows 11. It's Windows 11's fault. Microsoft! Micro hard! A problem for another day. But I do think something to look into. I know many of you are going to be like, well, it doesn't matter that much. I think it does. I think it does matter. I think it matters. I think it matters. Grabbable stuff, we'll do that another time. Okay, so let's go back to what we were working on, which is the items. Let's get the inventory system working real quick. What I want to do is make it so when someone presses Q, they'll just drop the first item in their inventory. And then that way we can start testing out items and dropping and replication and blah, 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 and poopy shit and whatever. Yeah, hell yeah. So we have the inventory component. Let's get it so picking up an item actually adds it to that person's inventory. So server item looted. The looter, which is a character, or actually, it's an actor. Because what if we want other things to be able to loot things? Yes, instigator, looter, the looter, the one who loots. Then we want to get component by class inventory. We have to check if it's valid. If it is valid, then I think in the inventory, I think we have a thing called add item to inventory. Yes. Add item to inventory. Test item, I guess. I don't know. Okay, test item. And then that's about it. I'm a little concerned that we're doing the on rep notify because that destroys the actor. So I hope we don't destroy it and then this code. Okay, we might have to do this over here. We might have to do this at the end. Okay, all right, okay, all right, okay. Although a sequence would be a good idea here. Yes. By class is a hard reference. I'm not too worried about it. I'm not too worried about it. The inventory component, even if it is a hard reference, that's not what I wanted to open. Even if it is a hard reference, it doesn't really matter because the inventory is like fucking incy wincy. It's 21.6 kilobytes. Let's check memory size. It's 4.1 kilobytes. Yeah, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. I don't think it's going to be that big of an issue. I don't think it'd be an issue. Those 4 kilobytes! Which I actually wonder, how would that memory work on a... I'm sure it's not that big of a problem. Barely fits on my floppy disk. Well, welcome to Unreal. What do you want from me? Everything would barely fit on a floppy disk on this motherfucker. Okay, so then the next test is debug key I. I want to take our inventory and then get items, get inventory. And then we're going to append inventory. Oh wait, no, maybe not. We're going to do array index. And then this is going to tell us all of the items. And then it'll when we print string, it's also going to tell us which client is being called. So we should be able to know which one is picking up the item. Okay, so client 2, come into relevancy. Okay, pick up the item. Okay, very good. Now hit I. Quote. Technically, this isn't replicating. Do I care about it? Do I care about it being replicated? I guess I do. Here, let's just do. I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe the button is the I key. Let's try picking it up on the server and then hitting I. Ah, test item. Okay, well, hold on. I gotta test something. I think I have an idea. If I loot it from this guy, I hit I. No, but what if I hit it from the server? No. Okay, so the server doesn't have it. Who the fuck has it? Man? Let me toggle breakpoint just to make sure that like it actually works on the client. Okay, good. Okay, well, that's good. Well, at least, well, we got that out of the way. It is not adding it to that character's inventory. Maybe it's because the inventory isn't replicated. All right, hold on. Let's just do this. What's the worst that could happen, right, guys? So I loot the item, which is a cube. Test item. Yes, I have the test item. Now, the next thing I like to do is when we hit Q, I want to drop the item, or the first item we have in the inventory. So let's go ahead. I guess we'd probably want to... Okay, so inventory component, I think we can create a custom event in here called drop item. And we should be able to just call this from a server, and then we should be fine. Also, I don't think we need to replicate this. I think it's fine. Who cares? If someone cheats and adds a bunch of items to the inventory, they're just a fucking loser for doing that in a friend slop game. Like, come on. It's gonna happen, but you know, let's just hope that people just don't do that. Just don't do that. Stop it. Don't do that. I guess we'll just do item index. Yeah, sure. Drop item from inventory, and then we're going to spawn actor from class. This has to be run from server, and we're just going to do item pickup. Spawn transform is going to be get owner. Get actor location. This might spawn it inside of the owner. So let's go ahead and get their rotation or forward vector. And then multiply that by a number, I don't know, 70. Plus that into the bad boy, put that in the bad boy, put that there. Okay, here we go. Okay, put that thing in the thing. All right, all good. There, Faye. Nice nips. What the hell? What? Who? What? 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 Huh? What? What did you just say? You can't just say that. What the hell? What the hell? You can't just say that. Wrong chat? Yeah, surely. Yeah. Surely, man. Which stream are you in? What? Huh? Maybe this is something that we would not do here in the player character or in the component. Ah, fuck it. We'll try it out. Inventory, custom event, server, player, drop item. We're going to need an input, instigator, which is going to be train rot character, I guess. Character. We're going to want to get their inventory component. And then drop item from inventory. And then I guess the item index will just be 0 for now. Do you ever feel nostalgic about Unreal? Do I ever feel nostalgic about Unreal? Well, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. When bathtub streams in a bikini, of course? I don't know. That's a really good question. I don't know if that'll ever happen. Okay, so I can spawn an infinite amount of the item. So now we just need to make it so we delete the item from our thing. I wonder if we can just remove it. The spawn actor is working, surprisingly. It's me. Been a while since I used Unreal. I miss it. Well, what are you using these days? I feel nostalgic about the Bikini Bottom. The Bikini Bottom. Who lives in a pineapple under the sea? All right. I dropped the item. I dropped the item. I dropped it. I dropped more of the item. Okay. Oh, because it's not checking if it's even valid. Of course. We have to check if it's valid to begin with. The thing is, I think I'm doing this incorrectly. We're technically supposed to check on the client if it's valid. I think what we're doing right now is we're checking on the server if it's valid. So this might actually not work. This is, you know, I don't think this is going to work. Oh, hey. Uh-oh. It's still in my inventory, apparently. By the way, dropping an item is there's a chance it doesn't actually work, and then you have to spam it, which really fucking sucks. Really sucks. What do I think of the new template map? It's just a template, man. I just gotta test the code in here. It's gonna end up being eviscerated in the future, anyways. Eviscerated. Never to be seen again. So it's not removing the index, and it's probably because it's not removing it from the actual player character. But it is getting the specific component of that instigator. Yeah, yeah, it's as I guessed. Because inventory is not necessarily replicate. Well, I don't think replicating the inventory is going to be like the way to do it. Kind of game are you making this? It's like a friend slop. Sloppy friend game. Sloppy toppy type game. Type shit. Yeah. Yeah, I know, I can see the problems here. We want to remove the item from the client. Like, actually remove the item from the client, because we're not replicating the actual inventory. Which is, you know, not very cheat-friendly, but that's okay. Whatever, fuck it, man, whatever. So when we drop an item, we need to do... I love multiplayer, and this is going to be great. I can't wait to do this for the next 7 years. We need to spawn the item on the server. We need to remove the item on the client. Wow, way. I do multiplayer by hand with a Raylib game. I feel pain. You do not. Hey, listen here, fucker. We're not comparing dick sizes and how much pain we feel, okay? If I feel pain, I feel pain. If you feel pain, you feel pain. If you inflict pain upon yourself by making a Raylib game, then that's on you, brother. That's on you, okay? I replicate my array, and then my component sets the array to owner or initialize under the replicate. I've never understood what a replicate condition is doing. So what is owner only? What does that mean? What does it mean? What the hell does it mean? He still has it in his inventory. Yeah, because... Also, the inventory is not replicated. I probably would not want to do... I don't know if I want to replicate the inventory. Where are we adding items to the... hold on. Where is this? Add item. Yep, here we do it locally. We add the item to the inventory locally, so only the local knows. What motherfuckers will do to avoid doing proper player state? Hey. It's not true. I'm not avoiding anything. I kind of am, but no, I'm not. I'm not. I am not. Also, I don't 100% know what I'm doing, so give me some slack. So the server will spawn the item. Oh, dude, you know what? Fuck it. Go, just remove it. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Technically, we probably should be spawning the item from somewhere else. So here's what we're going to do. I have an idea. The character will drop the item from the inventory. No. The server will spawn the item, which we have not gotten like any of the other stuff going. And then in here, we're going to drop the item from inventory, which is ourselves. So we could just do it here. And drop item just means it's removing it from the array. So that means I want to turn this into a function instead. This also means this is cheatable. You could cheat this easily, like because this is like super client authority, but don't care, we ballin'. I'm using the same code from item chest, so it needs to be. I think you'd probably want to replicate the inventory. Okay, wait, hold on. Why is picking up the items not working now? Okay. What did I change? I set this to... No. Yeah, so Okay, destroy. Okay, You technically do want the inventory replicated, I'm pretty sure, because then that creates more authority. But oh, I think I know what just happened. Oh shit. The client received the fact that they eluded it, right? Which is this part. But this didn't go through. So it didn't destroy it. How can I how can I verify that it actually did pick it up? So oh, multiplayer. This is going to be a fun journey. I'm going to expand my brain beyond its capabilities, and then my brain's going to explode into like green jello. It's going to be green, not pink. Yeah. Still waiting for that Day After remake? One day. I got to go through the friend slop stage first. I'm making a friend slop multiplayer game. And then I can make an actual multiplayer game. Great. So this didn't go through. And so we can't verify that we actually picked it up. Wait, hold up. Friend slop single player game. I'm gonna be rich. Brother just contradicted his entire genre. Friend slop, but single player. What are you simulating the other players? As AI? Okay, so we just experienced the beauty of losing packets. So I guess we could, in theory, make it so picking up items is reliable. Okay? We could. That could be a solution. I guess. I guess that could be a solution, is making sure that it's reliable, so that way it happens, no matter what. No matter what. I have a test item. I drop the test item. I hit Q. Q no longer works. However, I have deleted the item. The item has not spawned. Okay, let's also make this reliable. Although I'm pretty sure, I don't know if that's actually the problem. Okay, it is dropping it. So it's successfully occurring here. Right, no problem. But then when we drop the item, it's not dropping it. Oh, that's probably because I'm getting owner, which I honestly probably don't need. I think that should work. We were getting owner of player character, and I think the owner of player character is the player controller, and the player controller doesn't have a space. Okay, there we go. So now we no longer have it. We can pick back up. Then we can drop it again. It's like we're puking, and then we're regurgitating, and we puke, and then we... I'm not continuing that. So only client 0 has the test item. Very good. Client 2 does not. Okay, let's try dropping the item, and let's get client 2 to pick up the item. And it's replicated. Oh my god, it's replicated. Okay, so pick that up. Pick it up. What do you got? You got test item. Okay, very good. And then drop it. Sick. And then you pick it up. Okay, okay. And then you have the item. Okay, drop it. Okay, now server picks it up. Server has it. Server drops it. Server no longer has it. It works. Yeah! Man, multiplayer is hard. Multiplayer is some hard work, let me tell you. This is some hard work. So now if I run out of relevancy, I should no longer see it on client 2. Okay, but then I pick it up. Server will see it. Damn, multiplayer got hands. Yeah, true. Actually, though. True, though. Okay. Items are somewhat working. Only problem is it is extremely client authoritative because the inventory is not replicated and it does not do like an actual valid check necessarily. But that's okay for now. For now. For now. For now. One thing that does kind of suck, though, is when you pick up and loot the item. When you pick it up, we just hide it, right? And that makes it look instantaneous. But when you drop it, I don't know if you guys noticed, there's a slight delay. Let me see if I can... Because of ping. I don't know if there's a way that we can fake it to make it look like we dropped the item instantly. You know what I mean? I don't know. We'll figure out all that stuff. What? So client 1 only sees one item. Client 2 sees 2 items, and the server sees 2 items. Huh. I somehow duped the item. Oh, that's good. That's really good. That's great. Did I like hit? What the? This shit doesn't exist. It's not real. I'm trying to figure out where did this go wrong. Just when I thought everything was going so well, then it didn't. I think what happened is maybe we hit the drop button at the same time as looting, and so we looted and then dropped it. Possibly. Let's do something stupid. When we loot the item on remote, let's go ahead and just set it to looted on the local side, which I think should be fine. And then let's see. Let's see if we can dupe an item again. Yep. Dude, I don't know how I am doing that. I don't know how I'm duping it. I apparently can only dupe it like once. Am I duplicating? I'm gonna go fucking crazy, man. I'm gonna go crazy. Okay, when I hit the Q button to drop an item, I am dropping the item from the inventory. I'm checking if it's valid, and then I'm removing it. The item is valid, then drop the item. So maybe what's going on is when we pick up an item or loot an item. Oh. Yeah. Oh. I see. This is this is really stupid. Because we're doing this call, which is dumb. I bet you if we didn't do that call, Well, for one, we wouldn't be looting the item. So that's expected, I guess. It's almost like we need, in the interact, we almost need like a... Is remote or something. Because that way we can do some different calls on this. Obviously, I'm going in this with like no knowledge of how other people would make like an interaction system in multiplayer. But I do think that's our culprit, is the interact. I don't even know how to reproduce it. I think that's the thing that's worrisome. Have I tried Googling? I have. I don't really get too many great answers about like how to do a proper replicated item system. Am I maybe picking it up twice? How is there an item right there? Oh, I love multiplayer. Sorry, random item that doesn't exist. Yeah, I don't know which part is actually duping it. If it's the drop or if it's the looting part. Wish I could tell you. Now, to be fair, server interact call for interacting is not reliable. So there's a chance that that only happened because maybe it just dropped the call altogether. This is a really stupid way of doing it. I think that's my problem. You have to learn about reliable RPCs. Yeah, but I can't just call everything reliable. I think that's a cop-out. Like, I guess for now, when we do interactions, we'll just say it's reliable. Because that's like, literally 90% of the game is just reliable. Why not? Because you end up overflowing the server, and then there's a large likelihood that the player will end up getting kicked out of the game. Am I planning to be doing it on tick or what? No. I do have to put in a system where it's like if you've already done an interaction, like it doesn't, you can't spam it. Because that's something you can do right now. You can technically, you know, do that. Which is not very good. So if I can just stop the spamming from occurring, I think we should be fine. I brought the item into relevancy for him or her. I hope I can't dupe anymore. I haven't been able to do it yet. I bet you I'm going to turn and I'm going to see like a random ass cube somewhere. Wait, who has the item? Oh, there we go. Of course, the server can do it like literally instantly. What's gonna happen with the previous game? I'm still working on it. All right, well, we got items working, sort of. Kind of. It's not exactly the safest way of doing items. Considering the fact that the inventory is not being held on the server. It's being held on the client. It's, not very, not good, not very good, not good, pretty bad, actually horrible, actually. Pretty bad, but yeah, well, I guess for a friend slop game it's fine, but I'll figure it out. I feel like putting the inventory on the player state might be the way to go. And then, like, anytime an item is looted or dropped, maybe we, like, I don't know, do that from on the server side. And we just call from the client to the server, and then he does all that stuff. But then the problem is I guess there might be some delays. There's already delays, but it's like more delays when it comes to doing stuff. Yeah. Anyways, whatever. Learning process. Learning. We're learning. Never made a multiplayer game. Well, I have, technically in the past, but horribly. Yeah. I think Lyra's inventory might be on the player state. I wouldn't doubt that, because the player state... the player state has the lowest net update frequency, and I would imagine you don't need a replicated inventory to be, like, updated that frequently. So... Because if I remember from what I read, replicated variables are, like, constantly being sent. Don't know if that's true. Is this going better than the past? I'm at least approaching it with a lot more single player programming experience. And kind of knowing what I'm doing. Like, I have a better understanding of what these are doing. Whereas back then I was kind of like, run on server, multicast, run on server, multicast, run on replicated variables only send when updated, but they're diffed every time, every tick. Ooh. I see. I don't know, I've been hearing so many different, like, things about replicated variables versus RPCs. And also, I don't know how to set a variable without an RPC. Maybe it's just, maybe the pre-optimization, what do you call it? Maybe I'm trying to optimize too much for the networking, but maybe it's because I'm going into it because I know of how big of a fuck up and how quickly it got, how horribly it got for past projects. So I don't know. We'll see. I'll just keep fucking around with it. We just got to keep making progress. But we got the items working, so I'll go with it. I have. But honestly, it's one of those things where it's like there's so many things in the in Cedric's network compendium and like all those different resources that it's like it's like one of those things you just got to keep going back to as you work on stuff, because there's so many different factors to it and whatnot. So anyways, I'm gonna go. I'm hungry. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Yep. How quickly it derailed, pun very much intended. Okay, see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for dropping by. Almost overworking? Fix your webcam? Nope. I don't think I will. Nothing's wrong with it. Okay, goodbye. See you guys later. Have a great day. Thanks for dropping by. I'm hungry.